Well, hello everybody. My name is Roy Biancalana, and this is the latest installment of my video blog documentary through my journey through open heart surgery. And today I want to talk to you about the latest thing that I'm becoming aware of, and I guess I would just summarize that as the illusion of control. You know, as I've been thinking about this, I've used the word crisis, and like I've said before, that's a little dramatic. I mean, I don't have pancreatic cancer, but it is open heart surgery. And I've thought about the idea of crisis, and I'm coming up with my own definition of the word. And that is, a crisis is any time something of importance to you is taken away, you'll be in a crisis. Anything you're attached to, that if it's taken from you, you will experience a kind of a crisis. Take a 2-year-old and his favorite toy. Take the toy away from the child and see what happens. They're attached to it. It's my toy, and if you take it, they will go into a crisis of kind. So, in a sense, I'm experiencing that, and so let me give you an example of what I mean by that. So about a week and a half ago, in preparation for the surgery, I went through what's called a heart catheterization. It's a test where they look on the inside of you, and they look at your heart really up close and personal to see what's going on and get you all ready for that. Anyway, I went through that, and came back into a little recovery area after that test, and I hadn't eaten for, 10 or 11 hours, and I was starving. As I come out of the anesthetic, I could feel how hungry I was, and they brought me this plate of hospital food, which was disgusting, but I was hungry enough at that point to chew on my arm. So it was sitting right in front of me, like right in front of me, but I had all this crap in my arms, the IV and the blood pressure and different stuff, and so my wife had to spoon feed me my lunch, okay? And I'm telling you, I felt a wave of rage come up in me that was so startling to me that almost right behind it came this awareness, oh, Roy, one of your big pieces of work here is going to be the idea of embracing helplessness. And the whole idea that you have control is being blown up. So, what I was realizing at that moment is that this feeling of helplessness does not sit well with me. And I think most of us can relate to that because we go through, I think, a number of stages as we grow as people and we evolve. The first stage is this place of the victim, where you feel like life happens to you, you don't have any control, people, places, and things are happening to you, and you're at the effect of everyone, and so you feel all kinds of misery and pain in your life because, he did this to me and that happened and I don't have any control. We whine and we complain. But then because of that misery and pain, usually we go to a next phase. And that is we begin to realize that, wait a minute, if I align myself with the laws of the universe, and if I capture some work ethic, and if I have some affirmations, and if I visualize, and if I commit to my intentions and I stay on that path, I can be the creator of my experience. I can be the manifester of things in my life. So instead of it happening to me, it can happen because of me. Okay, so that's a big jump. But then you do that for a while, and I've been in that phase for quite a long while. I'm always one who's thinking that I can do whatever I put my mind to and so forth. But then something happens to you. Life seems to unfold in a certain way where it blows up this whole idea that you are in charge of your life. That you have power and control over what happens. And so through this event, that little moment of where I couldn't even feed myself, it made me have this awareness that this whole idea of control is a complete illusion. For instance, Steve Jobs, if he is not the premier creator manifester that we've seen in the last 50 years, I don't know who is. Maybe Bill Gates, okay? But he doesn't have control over anything. Ultimately, he didn't have control over what was happening in his life, and he passed away. So this idea that we have control is an illusion. And that's a big deal for those of us who have prided ourselves on saying, I'm not the victim. I am not at the effect of everybody and everything. I can take control of my life and I can make something of my life. And that's true to an extent. In the consciousness, the New Age movement, whatever that term means. But in the spiritual movement that's going on, I believe, in this country and around the world, one of the big things is the law of attraction, right? And it's all about you as the manifester, you're attracting to your life according to your energy, and it's all happening, and you're in control of all this. And to a degree that's true, but to a big degree, that's a bunch of hogwash. That you ultimately don't have control. That the universe is unfolding. Life is unfolding. It has its agenda. It is doing its thing. And you can fight it if you want, but it's still going to unfold the way it's unfolding. So what I'm learning is to embrace this idea of helplessness. In other words, or a better way to put it would be to surrender to what life is bringing, to the flow of where life is going. And I have realized I either have the choice to get with the program, to surrender to what is and what's unfolding, or I can fight it and try to maintain this illusion of control, that I don't want this, and I don't want that to happen, and I don't want this and that and the other thing. So I'm learning through this little moment where my wife was feeding me some broccoli, nasty broccoli too. But anyway, as I was being fed, I was so angry, and I was like, oh man, this is it for you. This idea that you're helpless, that you cannot have control over everything. So that's my latest learning in this, and I hope it's of service to you as you grow through those stages of letting go of the victim to taking control of your life, but then also letting go of the idea that you are actually in control, that life is actually happening through you and actually as you. And you can either surrender to that or you can fight it, but either way, life wins. So that's my offering today. I hope it's of service. Until next time, take care.